Hello, hello. How are you doing today? Really? How are you? My name is Kirsty, and this is episode 41 of Is It Expired? It is still like 35 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm struggling. I really am. It is very, very toasty. The smoke from the forest fires has come our way, and it's just outside is not the place you want to be. It really isn't. But we are going out this evening, so I'm hoping that the smoke blows out, cools down a little bit, and I can function, because as of this point, I'm not doing well. Back on track here. Here is my disclaimer, as always. Please don't use expired makeup. There are expiry dates on all of your makeup items for a reason. I am just choosing to ignore them, really. But I am making that very questionable decision for myself. I don't recommend others do the same. The reason I'm doing this is I have been hoarding makeup for 13 years, and a lot of the older stuff has definitely been neglected. I forget about it. It goes into the depths of Narnia. That is my vanity, and I never see it again. Until my random number generator picks it out and I get to play with it for a week. I also have a mentality that it is really, really hard for me to throw things out unless I have a genuine reason. So if the smell is funny, if the texture is wonky, the consistency, or the performance in general, it's gonna go in the bin. Absolutely. Otherwise, I'm gonna play with it for the week and see if I react to it at all, and if it's okay, I just put it right back into my collection for another round. And honestly, a lot of these items that I have been picking, I have definitely been using because I remember it. So I do play with these quite often after the week, which is awesome. It means a lot of products are getting at least a little bit of love, and really at this point, that's all I can ask. Things are getting use, which is what we want out of our collections, right? Right. Okay. Now, let's backtrack to last week. See what I pulled. I do have a couple of looks, but honestly, it was a little bit of a busy week, and because the palette was so colorful, I did a lot of just double liner looks, so one with one of the colors and then just a black. So I didn't take a lot of those pictures just due to the fact that it was the same thing just with different colors, and it's pretty basic. But moving back on, let's just see what I pulled last week. Okay, I just fell. I don't know. This whole chair is gonna fall apart someday because I built it. And so I've been waiting for the day that it just collapses under me. Because I'm not handy. I'm really not. I try my best. I grabbed this because it was actually in my purse, so it has become my purse bomb. This is the Shop Miss A AOA Studio Big Boss Bomb in raspberry. Different berry. Probably pretty close to the same scent, but not the point. Raspberry. I have gotten a little bit of use on it, obviously not a ton. This was brand spanking new when I opened it. I've had it for probably 6 or 8 months, but I had just opened it when it got pulled, so it has now become my purse lip balm, and it'll be done probably in the next couple of months anyway. It smells fine. I don't think I could pick out, if you gave me a batch of blueberry, raspberry, strawberry, blackberry scents, I could not tell you which was which. I could say that they're a berry of sorts. I'm not that good at determining those types of scent, but it's nice, it's fine. And obviously the product in itself is fine because it's really not that old. So, moving on. Alright, this is my Annabelle lip liner in the shade Blush. I'm actually wearing this again today because it was out. Easy peasy. It is just a beautiful neutral lip liner. Easy to wear with a lot of things. So it's one of those ones that I kind of just grab on days that I'm going a little more natural. I am just focusing on a certain one right now, and then I'll probably move on to something like this, so that I can get rid of a bunch of these. They are 5 or 6 years old, I think. Around there, so they're definitely getting old. I would love to get use out of them, get them used up, and I do use up actually a lot of lip liner because every day that I wear makeup, I do put on a lip liner. So it's something that I can definitely go through. I just have to focus on it. So I think once I'm done the other neutral one, I'm going to start focusing on this one. So hopefully, probably not this year, but probably next year, this will be done anyway. Let's move on. This is my YSL blush in Blush Radiance in the shade 6. This is from when I worked at Sephora, so 8 or 9 years ago now, when they gave us gratis in the form of unused testers, which is why it's the plastic case and not an actual YSL makeup case, which is fine. I really don't care that much. Yes, the plastic is not very aesthetically pleasing, but the blush in itself is beautiful, so it is what it is. This is really nice. It's just a beautiful, nice, natural pinky blush. It's really, really great for this time of year because it gives you almost a sunburnt look, so it's a very natural flush because I'm pretty sure I'm sunburnt underneath everything anyway. So I liked this. It's going to go right back home. We're going to keep trying to use it. I can't believe it doesn't have more use on it. I feel like over the years I have grabbed it quite a bit, so I'm kind of sad that like there's not a whole lot of use looking on it. Like, it doesn't seem like I've used it that much, but I have, and I know I have, so I'm just gonna keep trying to grab it in the future, and as of right now it seems fine. I had no issues. This is my Beige Cosmetics Bombshell Bronze in the shade Siren. I still feel weird saying that word. I don't know what it is. It just comes out of my mouth funny, but not the point. This is really beautiful. It is a glowy bronzer, which is, again, this time of year, great. Love it. Love a good glow going on. This is, I don't know, man, 6, 7, 8 years old. It's up there. It's for sure older in my collection. And, what does that say? Say 21 months after opening? That seems like a weird amount. It's kind of like scratched off, but it probably says 24 months. That would make a lot more sense, but it really does look like it says 21. But it's been longer than that, let's be real. Doesn't smell like anything though, and it went on really beautifully. It was very even and smooth and looked good, so it's gonna go back home. And it is actually, again, something I do grab quite often. Can't see it, couldn't tell. You would have no idea. I mean, it doesn't look brand spanking new. There is a bit of a dip happening, but not nearly as much use as you would think after like 7-ish years. So I'm hoping one day we'll get there. For now, it's going home. All right, and the palette for last week. I'm in a weird mood. I don't know why. I think I just need a nap. This is my Urban Decay Electric palette. This thing is 8-ish years old, 8 or 9. It's old. Very colorful, very beautiful. I had a lot of fun with this, and I think I used every shade except for the silver. So I did play with it a lot. I did try to experiment with every shade just to make sure that none of them had gone off, but I do have a couple looks. Consistency was really, really nice. The color payoff is still there. It wasn't patchy, it wasn't hard to blend out, so I have no issue with it. With that, I do wish that I had a little more use showing in this palette. Again, it's one of those that I know I've grabbed a lot throughout the years, and you almost can't even tell, which is really sad. I want to see the use in these products, for sure. But almost every shade got used. Like I said, I did just do a couple, like, basic liner looks, so I did that with the 2 blues and the orange. Just double liner, one color, and then a black liner underneath, and I went out the door. So not super crazy with those ones, but I made sure that I was still using this and I was playing with every shade in here. And I still love this. I really, really do. It's a lot of fun. It's, I don't know, it's a classic. It's also kind of nostalgic at this point because it is so freaking old. But I'm going to keep it. I'm going to be that person. Does it smell anything? No, there's no scent. I feel like, I mean, if it's at the point where you open up a palette and you can blatantly smell something off, throw that thing out. Throw it out. Don't keep it, please. But no, it doesn't smell like anything. It's fine. Let's move on to week 41. 41 weeks. We're almost at a year. It's exciting. All right. This week, week 41. That's where we're at. All right, let's start with this. This is my Avon eyeliner in the shade Eggplant. This is probably about 10 years old. I think that I had like a friend that sold Avon, and so I just wanted to support her and got a couple of products way back. So this is very old, and it's something that I don't know why I don't use more, because it's actually very pretty. It went on the waterline beautifully. It's creamy. It's still on there really nicely, and I've had this on for about an hour, and again, it's sweltering. So it's a really good time to test these things, I guess, because if they sweat off, not so good. But I do really like these, and I have like 3 shades, and I don't know why I don't use them more often. Not sure, but very pretty. Like the look. It's not irritating my eyes or anything, so I am definitely going to keep using it this week, and hopefully, eyeliner is one thing that colored eyeliner, I don't grab very much because I have, like, my water activated liners are kind of a different story because I don't put those in my waterline. But for like pencil liners, I have probably 50 of them and I barely grab them. So I want to be better about that. I really, really do. This is my She Glam liquid lipstick from the Wretched Romance collection, which came out either Halloween 2020 or 2021, I think. I can't quite remember which Halloween it was, but it's been a few years now, and I have the whole collection. Love these. This is stunning. There's not a whole lot of product in these either, I've realized, because I'm almost done one of the other ones, and it didn't take terribly long. Very, very pretty. Very dark and vampy. It is in the shade Bloody Mary. They all had, like, Halloween-y names. But it's super dark. Super beautiful. And as you can tell, I do not have something that dark and vampy on my lips right now. No, I actually use this as a base for my eyes. So I use it as an eyeshadow base, as well as on my cheeks. So I like the idea of multi-use products, and obviously these aren't marketed to be that way, so it's not necessarily going to be safe on your eyes, but I've had no issues. I've definitely done that before where I use a creamy consistency lipstick as a eyeshadow base, and I've had no issues. But it could happen. Honestly, they will probably be stained tomorrow, but not the end of the world. I can survive with that. So I do like this, and I do want to eventually use it as a lipstick throughout the week. It's just, it didn't work with the vibe I got going on today. Just wasn't my jam today. But I do really like these. I love it's almost like a mousse-like consistency, and I love that. They do stay on really well, and I have used the brown shade as a contour. I actually did again today. So all of my cream products, my cream, bronzer, and blush are actually She Glam lipsticks. And I don't know. I think it works. I think it's fun, and I think it's just fun to experiment with your products. Put them in different places. See what happens. You know, use them for something that they're not necessarily marketed for. And I think that's why a lot of these products are starting to be multi-use. Cheek and lip. Cheek, lip, and eye. Happens all the time anyway. So even if something isn't necessarily marketed as a cream blush, it's a lipstick, give it a shot. I don't always necessarily recommend putting those things around your eyes, especially if you're sensitive, but as a cream blush, why not? So, I'm going to keep using that, and I know I'm going to get a lot of use on this week if I use it as a multi-use tool, and like I said, not a ton of product in these, so this might be something I can finish up in 2024, and that would be cool. This is my Arbonne blush in the shade Blossom. We love a pan. Look at the size of that pan. I had this in, not necessarily, I don't really do project pans in general, but I kind of had it in my, like, almost empty drawer for a really long time, and so it would be just my kind of go-to blush. But I have so many blushes that I kind of felt guilty doing that and really gravitating towards this, so I did kind of put it back into its regular blush home, and I just grab it every here and there. Now this is just like a peachy pink blush with a gold fleck. And if that sounds familiar to anyone, it's because it's very similar to NARS Orgasm, I find at least. I wouldn't say they're dupes necessarily, but I find that the shades are quite similar, and I do really like it. I like the color, it's very natural. It's kind of hard to get a real feel for the color when I have a red as a base, but it is very pretty. It's very soft, very natural, and the glow that the gold undertone fleck gives you is really pretty. It's stunning. It's great for summer. This I've had for 10 years at least. Again, another one of those where a friend was selling it and I just wanted to support them. Luckily, most of my friends have gotten out of MLMs at this point in their lives, so I don't feel obligated to support them in their ventures anymore. I don't love the idea of MLMs at all, so I haven't brought any MLM products into my collection in probably 10 years, I would say. I think since before I moved to where I am now, and so it's just trying to kind of use up what's already in my collection. And I can, because this is almost done. Well, I mean, we're getting there. It's very low on every side as well as the giant pan in the middle, so I think eventually I can finish this and get it out of my collection organically, and that's always nice to do. I love use. Love it. Okay. And then, Oh, I have another SheGlam product. I don't know how I didn't... Losing my mind. It's fine. This is the SheGlam Bright Eyes Cooling Concealer in the shade Linen. This was the first time I've used this, but I've had it for, I think, like 8 months, but I've never used it. It has the metal tip, which for under your eyes is supposed to cool and depuff and just feel really nice, and it does in the summer, let's be real, because it is cooling, right? So it's just gives you a little goosebump. I do love that. However, the shade I got was way too light. I think if I do ever make another SheGlam order, which I'm not going to this year, I have too much stuff, but I might in the next couple of years, if they do still have this concealer with this... Did I... Oh no! What have I done? Good enough. Whatever. Just a spot of concealer for the rest of the day. It's fine. And as you can tell, like, way too light. Way too light. So I did actually have to mix this with my foundation to darken it quite a bit. And it's still very light. I'm very, very stark under my eyes, and that's not necessarily the look I like to go for. So, love the idea. The consistency is really nice. I have a hard time knowing what the formulation was like because I was so focused on shade. But I think I would like to order another one of these in like 2 shades darker, especially for summer. This is my tan. This is what I got going on. In the winter, it might work a little bit better. I still think I'm going to need to darken it about a shade, but right now it's like white. It's like my hair color. It's way too light. So, love the idea. Love the packaging. Would like to try a darker shade, but I am still going to use it for the week. I'm just going to have to mix it with either different concealers or my foundation or whatever the case may be to darken it a little bit, and then it's kind of a bummer because it defeats the purpose of the cooling tip. Alright, last thing here. This is my ColourPop Cabana Club, and I know my florals are not the same florals, but I feel like we're both very like summertime today. I feel like if it's a very summertime palette and I'm very summertime today, we match. I don't even have that much caffeine today. I don't know what's wrong with me. This is a really, really beautiful palette. I have actually gotten a lot of use on this. I've had it for about 2.5 years, 3 years, something around there. So I've had it for a little bit, but it's definitely something I have grabbed a lot in that time. Again, you wouldn't really know, which is very sad. There's no like dips, dents, definitely not any pan happening. Eyeshadows are tough. Really, really tough. But it is something that I have used, and I know I've used, and I've gotten my money's worth, which is great, and I'm really looking forward to using it this week. I had a lot of fun today. I just went in with, after my red base, which made my colors, I feel like they pop so much more with this, just a little bit of the red base. And I did really blend it out so it wasn't like stark red, but it did still give a smooth and deep base in order for things to really show their true colors on top of it. So I did just go in with Go Bananas, which is obviously the yellow, and that is on the inner corner. And then on the outer part of my eye here, I just went in with Bikini, which is like a dusty pink color, and they're both mattes. And then I just took my finger and took Limelight here, which is just a yellowy gold, and just popped it right in the center. Easy peasy lemon squeezy for my eye look today. But yes, I do love that palette, and I'm really looking forward to using it this week. It's something that I can definitely go bold or very soft and natural. And like I said, today we have an event this evening, so I didn't want to go all out wild, but I still had a lot of fun playing with it, and I feel very summertime today. I really do. I feel like everything kind of goes together, which I love. But that's it. That's everything. I'm gonna go stand in the freezer or something. I don't know. I'm struggling. I don't do extreme temperatures well at all. Cold, hot, doesn't matter. I don't do extremes well. And the smoke is not helping at all. I actually do have asthma. So it's getting into my lungs, and it does hurt. And as soon as I walk out the door, this morning I went to go let the dogs out, and I stood out there for a couple of minutes just kind of hanging out with them, and I thought I was going to pass out. I thought that was going to be the end of me. I thought I was going to faint, honestly. It hit me so hard, and I was just woozy. So I don't do well with all these things happening. Just, give me one real good thunderstorm, break up the heat a little bit, wash out the smoke. I'm happy around, that 20 to 25 mark in the summer, which is what in Fahrenheit? I don't know, like 85 to 90? No, that can't be. That's too high. Probably like 80, 85-ish? No. Yeah, that sounds about right. 85-ish. This is too much. This 100-degree weather, I'm not built for this. And it's a struggle. Struggle is real, and I'm on the bus. Have yourselves a wonderful day, evening, weekend. Stay hydrated in this heat. And I will see you all next time.